Science. Now listen, science for me, it's a very, very solid subject, but also it depends what you're doing, you know. In England, where I'm from, we have these thing called practicals. You probably do them in America as well. But basically, you get this tube, bro. You get this tube, you get a beaker, that's what we call it. You mix some shit together and you make some crazy stuff, bro. If you're in that lesson, it can be really high up there, but there are some lessons when you're learning about like protons and like different like periodic table, which nobody cares about. So, you know, it can be goated, but it also can be mid. So, with that logic, I'm going to straight up and put it in W lesson, okay? Let me know if I'm wrong. But, you know, I think that's a good rating. Next up, we got English. Now, listen, I know there's going to be such a big difference between the English that I do in England and the English that you guys do in America, probably. Listen, let me tell you something. In England, what we do, right, is we look at, you know, Shakespeare. We look at Shakespeare's books, right? And we just start reading them. And we have to, like, recite some quotes from the books in the exams. That's, like, one side of it. And then another side of it is, like writing, like a book, bro. We write like a book. So that can be quite interesting if you're into that kind of stuff. But for me, I'm not going to lie to you guys. English was an absolute snooze fest, okay? I'm not gonna, I was falling asleep in English. One time I was on a laptop. I was playing a game. Bro, I was playing this game online. It was like this little game. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it. I was playing like Geometry Dash. I'm not even trolling. Like, it is what it is. But English for me, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's going into mid, bro. It's going into mid. I'm sorry. Next up, we got maths, okay? Maths, you know, listen, maths is one of those subjects where if you know what you're doing, it can be really fun, right? But also, if you don't know what you're doing, it can be really, really dead. Listen, when I was in primary school or middle school, I think it is for you guys in America, like when you're like 10, 11 years old, yeah, it was all chill, you know? You were doing multiplication, addition, subtraction, a little bit of division here and there. But as soon as you step into the 13, 14 age ranges, yeah, guess what happens? You start seeing A, B, C, D, X, and Y, bro. When you see A, B, C, when you start seeing the acute and the obtuse angles and the A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, that's when you know you have to sign out of maths, bro. You have to sign out of maths. So for that reason, please don't hate me for this, but it's going straight into mid again, bro. It's going straight into mid again. I'm sorry. Okay. Next up, we got health education. Okay. This is I don't think we have this in England. We have like it's called like physical. It's called like sci-ed, but I don't even know. It's the same thing. Okay. Health education, like we learn about like sex education, right? You know, we had this for like half of secondary school, like half of high school. So it's not that bad. It was actually quite interesting, to be fair. This is one of the subjects I kind of enjoyed more, you know, because you learn about actual stuff that matters in the real life. And of course, you know about sex education, you know, when you're 13, 14, that's the shit right there. You know what I'm saying? That's absolutely brilliant. I love it. But, you know, it's not mid. It's actually pretty good. When I look back at it, I'm not gonna lie, my teacher was kind of bad, you know, but that's a story for another day. So for me, I think health education, I think that can go into W lesson, bro. W lesson, health education, W. Next up, we got woodwork, design woodwork. You know, I had this lesson, but in England you can choose what you do, right? And it's like design and something. I forgot the name of it exactly, but I know what it is. Like woodwork, cutting wood, stuff like that. I never really did it, but I think I did it like once or twice. We like had like a test run. It seemed interesting. I didn't pick it at the end of the day, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's not, you know, for someone with not as much experience, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna probably put it in mid. But they're cutting a lot of congestion in the middle there. Next up, we got creative art. I'm just gonna put it in art. Okay, this is art. Listen, art, I absolutely adored art, bro, because like it's so chill, right? Because the other lessons, we can't talk, we can't do anything. But in art, we were allowed to just talk. We were allowed to do this. We were allowed to like talk with our friends, just draw random stuff. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do this like as a GCSE. So I didn't do this as like an actual grade, because like we just had like a test run for 2 years. So I did it for 2 years, and it was actually so chill. I enjoyed it. but I didn't want to actually like try hard in it. I guess if you try hard in it would be a bit dead. I'm not gonna lie. So, but I'm just gonna go off my experience, and my experience was that it was absolutely goated, bro. Goated art lesson, bro. Goated art lesson. Okay. Next up, we got cooking education. I think it was called something like that. Cooking, listen, W lesson, of course. It can be mid, it can be must skip. It all depends on how it is, okay? For me, I remember I probably should have picked this to do, but I didn't pick it. I did like yeah, you know, it was quite interesting because we cooked food, but I know that you had to bring in your own ingredients, and I never did. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I always had to like just share with someone else because I just didn't find it that interesting. But you know, we cooked like eggs. We cooked like spaghetti, pasta, like ravioli. We cooked some random stuff in here, so that was quite interesting. And I guess if you like cooking, this can be an absolute goated thing. But I'm not gonna lie, for me, this is gonna have to go into mid, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. It's gonna have to go into mid. Next up, we got tech IT. Okay, listen. This literally depends on where you sit. If you sit and your screen is facing away from the teacher, so the teacher's in front of you guys, it is elite. Listen, you're literally just playing games the whole class, guaranteed. But in my school, right, they made it so the teacher desk is behind us all, so they can see our screens at all times, which made it the most boring thing of all time because we just can't do anything. Sometimes when the teacher would go to the front, we would like play some games here and there, but it wasn't that good. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So, you know, for that reason, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put it in mid again, bro. Everything's going into mid. It's just mid. Like, I'm sorry. Next up, we have music. So you know what? I'm gonna put music and choir in the same thing. Music and choir, okay? Again, I did not pick this. By the way, if you're American, you don't understand. Basically, let me explain it. I probably should have explained this, but basically, we have a 3 years period, right, where we choose a subject which we want to do. We have like different subjects we can choose, and there's a lot. And basically, you can choose if you want to complete the subject and get a grade on it when you finish high school, or if you don't. And yeah, I didn't choose this one, but when I did do it for 3 years, I was very, very interested because I was learning piano at the time. Right, let me tell you a little story. I was learning piano at the time, okay? And, you know, we would learn like these basic arse songs in class. But then there's okay, so we had like keyboards, you know, like the electric keyboards which like produce fake noise. There was that. And then there was like a piano in the corner, right? Which was like an actual real piano. And there was this girl that I really, really liked, okay? It like, when I was like 13. And I went to the piano and I started playing this song called like Fur Release. Yeah, Fur Release, right? You know that song? Okay, and basically, she was into it. But I'm just going to say that she kept asking me to do it again. You know, I'm not trying to brag, but she was into it, bro. So, for me, this could go into goated. But I'm going to put it in W lesson, bro. W lesson music and choir, bro. Next up, okay. We got history. Listen, history was interesting when like you talked about like World War II and stuff, but after that, I did not care, bro. I did not care. Okay, like it was the most dead thing. I was falling asleep. Okay, listen, it's not a human rights violation because some people I know you can find it interesting, but for me, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is going into straight must skip. I'm sorry, bro. It's gonna have to go straight into must skip. Okay, next up, we got physical education, PE. I know in America you probably like call it a gym or something like that. We call it PE. Okay, listen. For me, I was in the top grade. We have like different sets, right? I was in the top set. I was enjoying it, but the problem was I had no friends in the top set. All my friends were bums, bro. They were just sitting at the bottom sets. They were dog shit, okay? But still, even with no friends, I still enjoyed it thoroughly. Especially when we played like good sports. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was very good at table tennis, and I was very good at football. So, you know, I really enjoyed it. And, you know, this one, it only happens like once a week for me. But it was so fun when we did it. And you would end the week with it as well. So I'm not gonna lie, for me, guys, this is going into. Actually, let me think. For you guys, right? If it's you guys ranking this would probably go into the human rights violation. But because I'm ranking it off of me, guys, I'm putting this into GOATing. Let me know if you agree with the tier list. There's another tier on the screen right now if you want to watch it. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.